Okay, we're jumping into game number 3, guys. I am BisuDagger, and this is the Man versus Machine tour. Game number 3 is underway with LetaBot spawning at the top right-hand corner here. He will be at that 1 o'clock position, and then spawning down at the bottom right region, we will have IronBot. Both players losing their first game against Man, and thought, well, what if we just eliminate Man from the equation and go all bot on bot? Don't want that to sound dirty, but it probably did. Okay, let me tell you here, both these players have those contain versus contain strategies. So what we saw in game number 1, the Vulture Mine strategy with late rates, versus what we are going to see is probably that Vulture Tank strategy by LetaBot. So there are two different varieties that are going to come from it, and this is going to be even more interesting because the APM for these bots is quite insane, and I know that it causes latency issues. It can cause glitching out, and so that's where you constantly have to keep an eye on the behavior. Like LetaBot will have problems with the siege tank behavior where it constantly sieges and unsieges, and that's what we saw in game number 2 also, is that constant siege unsieging mode. Let me get the Twitch chat available here. If you guys have anything you'd like to say, just go ahead and let me know. I know I'm not too attentive to it because when I do the replay casting, I'm constantly trying to, maneuver around the map with my 2 or 3 APM. Caster APM is very important here. In fact, some Korean casters have like ridiculous APM. 50 APM in the early game. What are you clicking on? Maybe I need to throttle my APM right now. Just click back and forth here. Look at that. Supply depot, the command center, micro. And we are looking again at LetaBot here, who does go for this full-on 3 SUVs to the refinery. Meanwhile, we actually see that there are 3 SUVs going to IronBot down at the bottom right-hand too. So both the players are wanting to get that necessary gas to go straight up to factory tech. It's pretty normal for TVT to go straight to factories anyway. Bio doesn't really make for great mid-game units, so you can't just build Bio and expect to last for a long time. Those of you coming from StarCraft 2, that's where things are going to be a little bit different. You've got mech in TVT, and that's really what is what. Although when you do see like a Bio versus Bio war, or a game where Bio wins the day, it is a super exciting TVT. Don't get me wrong, but let's be realistic. You gotta go for those factories here. And the scout is coming out towards the middle of the map. What if the factory is built right here? Go for the cheese. Look at this. The Marine is actually chasing it down, so IronBot is still having trouble trying to escape with his SCV, as LetaBot is going to continue to chase with his Marine. Okay, so looking here, the Terran factory is finally coming up for our top right bot, LetaBot here. Kind of throws me off whenever I see the Martin R. I use that as my tab every once in a while to remember. I guess I should just commit things to memory. I'm no AI though, so I just can't learn things on the fly like that. The second factory already coming up for LetaBot, or for IronBot here, so this is going to be a really strong Vulture strategy. I'm just sensing it. The first Vulture already out. I like that this is a full right-hand side of the map spawn too, because there's going to be a shorter distance here than cross spawn, which means that these players with their aggressive strategies can be even more aggressive, and the action can become a non-stop battle at some points here. There's constant rally basically between these two bots, what we saw in the first 2 games here. And so this first Vulture is going to try and get up inside here, but there is going to be a pretty decent defense. A nice microwave, but both of the players, instead of one, where I think if we were watching Pebble or DNR, they would have just moved forward instead of trying to micro back right away, and probably would have killed off this single Vulture right away. But now this Vulture is actually using its micro pretty effectively, and it's going to run away because there is nothing to heal it up. Is there an SCV on its way? Because last time we saw, yes, SCVs come up to repair. And so there is going to be some hugging action as the Vulture is going to get repaired. Meanwhile, coming back to this main base here, we're going to be looking at the Marines using the high ground to their advantage. Actually, this is really good for him. There are going to be missed shots from that Vulture as it tries to attack onto the high ground. Right now, there is no map score. These are best of ones right now, not best of threes. And so what we saw is Pebble versus IronBot in game number 1. Pebble taking the win. DNH in game number 2. He taking the win against LetaBot. And now we're watching LetaBot versus IronBot. This is a double elimination tour if you're wondering about what the map score actually is. It's more of a double elimination thing. So when these players are knocked down a bracket. I'm not entirely sure how the bracket system is working out because just kind of waiting to see those results after this cast. And we can dive more into how this tournament is going to play out. And day number 2, right now, it's just all about watching this bot-on-bot action. Oh, the Spider-Man going off. And this is actually the danger of having the Marine here, is that it can pull the Spider-Mine. But I actually like that from LetaBot, is the fact that he creeps up with that Marine. The reaction timing for these Vultures is really good. Is he going to be able to kill off more of the Spider-Mines here? He's floating on top of them, actually perfectly killing off all the Spider-Mines. Oh, dear God, this is just glorious to watch. I don't think even Flash can pull something off like that. That was beautiful Spider-Mine micro coming out from the Vultures of LetaBot here. Meanwhile, IronBot actually finally has his Wraith out. Let's take a quick peek inside this main base here. And we're going to see another factory coming up. Probably more Spider-Mines. And now the Wraith play coming into fruition here. How's this response going to work here? Where is the necessary tech to deal with Wraiths? Okay, the armory is being constructed, a command center being built also. So it looks like LetaBot, if he can get Goliaths out, can actually deal with this pretty effectively here. He's going to be using his siege tanks right now. We're looking at 3,700 APM versus 1,700 APM. Both these players just throttling their AI as much as possible right now. Okay, so these Wraiths are doing their spunky micro, and I love this. They dive in, they fly out, they dive in. It's just like swarming flies here as they try to attack, but not every attack goes off. This it's like when you mute a micro here and you do that patrol attack and it doesn't go off and you're like, oh crap, I've got a micro away so I don't get hit with something. But instead the Wraith's just like straight up not doing any damaging here, and this is really bad. So Vultures and Wraiths really don't win out versus tanks. Tanks are really strong units here in this early game. As we continue 7 here, 8 minutes into the game, there's a siege mode onto the national base. No command center being built here. It's just basically a stronghold on one base. Look at all the Wraiths right now as they continue to gather and higher in supply here. And where are the Goliaths? Are they going to be coming into the fray here? Yes, so finally one Goliath has been built. And there's still going to need to be a couple Goliaths. 3 will obviously, I believe 3 should win out versus a Goliath, just a single one here. But as soon as a couple Goliaths come into the play, LetaBot's going to have a really strong position here. And now he's going to be holding down the bottom of the ramp. Look at this constant siege on siege micro here. The impatience of these tanks is the only reason why, you know, he's not eliminating everything on this map a lot quicker here. And the Wraiths still aren't doing a lot of damage. Oh, finally a prod in. Are they going to attack it this time? All 4 running in, and then they bounce out again. I'm just getting nervous for when the Wraiths actually decide to attack here. Meanwhile, this Goliath, as we saw in one of the other games, and I believe it was IronBot's, he had a Marine that was microed around, not in patrol mode, and so it didn't attack. I think the difference here is that LetaBot probably has this in A attack or patrol mode here, so the Goliath can do shots off on top of the Wraith. Any upgrades coming along here? It doesn't look like we're going to be seeing maybe a range from the Goliath. A range upgrade would be really nice to help deal with these Wraiths and kill them off quicker. The mines, though, going to be really nice here if the mines can kill off the Goliaths, which they do. A double kill on the Goliaths, and now the Wraiths can wreak havoc one more time here if they want to eliminate anything. I think that this is definitely looking like it's going to be strongly in LetaBot's favor, though. Even though there is a considerable amount of mining here, there's just not a lot of units to defend, unfortunately. And LetaBot's got his units all up inside this base. So I think that we're going to have to say that with, yes, 4 siege tanks, 9 vultures, and 3 Goliaths, that he will defeat 2 Marines, 3 vultures, and 5 raids. So we're going to speed this along here. Watch this slow death animation of IronBot, who does not have the ability to identify which PG, unfortunately, here. And LetaBot, the reigning champion from 2015, is going to be winning his first bot versus bot match. Going to be really strong for him in this competition. As you guys are seeing, the man versus machine tour. That has a nice ring to it. Sounds much better than bot. Man versus bot tour. Alright, let's speed this up even further. Oh! Whoa! 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 Oh, I love this. I don't care where we are in this game. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look, guys. 1, 2, 3. 3 starports. So, LetaBot's strategy is, if I make it to a second base, then clearly the next step after going Goliaths, tanks, vultures, is to go directly into battle cruisers. How awesome is that? This is absolutely hilarious. Okay, let's get back into it now. Where the hell did these battle cruisers come from? I'm loving that strategy. IronBot getting eliminated. That is going to be game 3 for the day. Give me a second to load up the next replay, rest my voice, and then we will talk sponsorships in game number 4. Look at this. The superior units, structures, and resources once again go to the player that expanded first. And as LetaBot points out in chat, there was a 3rd base. So 3 base battle cruisers. I'm sorry. 3 base battle cruisers. That's just freaking amazing. I love it. I love it, guys. So we're going to see a player that we haven't seen today in game number 2. And that'll be really good. It's going to be another human versus bot war. And guys, I thank you if you were able to watch yesterday. We actually watched human versus bot, or man versus machine yesterday, as Bisu versus Flash played each other in that Chinese tournament. I can't remember the name of it, but they played against each other yesterday, and clearly Flash, being a machine, was able to eliminate, you know, my favorite player. But that's unfortunate. If you missed out on game number 5 there, it was a pretty exciting one. You can watch that cast. Right now, Star Apple is the sponsor of this tournament here, and they are an IT recruitment agency in the Netherlands. You know what? I'm going to change my tactic here. If you are from anywhere else in the world and you are a coder and you want a job, or you're in the IT world, just go to Star Apple and get a job in the Netherlands. God, people are so happy there. They are very pleasant, and they're really tall, beautiful women. So, I mean, just go ahead, you know, uproot, come from South America, North America, Africa, China, Southern Europe, wherever you come from. Just go to the Netherlands, flock there, and let Star Apple help you out. Meanwhile, if you just want to focus on your coding game, Riddles.io and the AI Games are great places for you to join in the coding fun. I'm serious, guys. I feel like if you are not a coder, then you need to pick up just like a simple coding book and just program simple stuff like Hello World. If Obama can be the first president to code, then you can be a coder too. And if you guys haven't heard the story, the first bit of code that a president has ever written was move 20. Oh no, I'm sorry, move Elsa 20. Yes, Disney provided Disney code for Elsa, the princess from Frozen, and Obama wrote the code to move Elsa forward 20 units. Oh god, it's hilarious. It was so hard. No, like certain programming languages are really easy like that, and they're tailor-made for you to just get into it and be like, oh, I did something really cool. Now let me get a better programming language where I can do even more and just completely command the world. Okay, so we're going to be going into game number 3 here. It's going to be MPA Steve versus LetaBot.